Hello, my dear friends. How are you doing? Hope you are having an amazing day and not having to deal with drama. Ready for new stories I have for you today? Let's go to the first one. And don't forget to listen to the end of the story, guys, to hear my insights. Enjoy the stories. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. I'm a 35-year-old male, and my sister, 29 female, Anna, passed away 3 years ago in a car accident, just 2 months before her wedding. She and her fiancé, Matt, 32 male, were together for 5 years and genuinely loved each other. After the accident, Matt was devastated. We all were. I remember how happy Anna was when she and her friends picked out her wedding dress. It was custom, expensive, and very her. After she died, my parents gave it to me for safekeeping, saying they couldn't bear to look at it but didn't want it sold or donated. I've kept it in pristine condition in my closet ever since. Fast forward to now. Matt has moved on, understandably, and is engaged to someone new, Julie. Julie was one of my sister's best friends and was there when Anna picked out her dress. Weird for Matt to get with her, but whatever. But here's the bigger issue. Julie reached out to me directly and asked if she could wear Anna's dress for her wedding, as a way to honor Anna and symbolically bring her into the ceremony. I was floored. I said no immediately. I told her it felt disrespectful, that it was Anna's dress, and that it's not a hand-me-down or some family heirloom. I also told her I thought it was weird as duck that she would want to wear it. She said she thought it would be a beautiful gesture, and that I was making this about me. My sister died, and you swooped in and are marrying her fiancé. But I'm the asshole. Then Matt called me. He wasn't angry, but he said Julie had good intentions, and that this would bring closure to everyone. I asked him if he thought Anna would have been okay with it, and he said yes. I don't agree. Anna was incredibly sentimental and private. She would have been horrified. Mind you, none of my family has been invited to this wedding. Not me, not my parents, not my brother. Matt is marrying Julie, wants her $10,000 dress, and hasn't even invited any of our family. Now, my parents are saying I should have at least discussed it with them before refusing. Julie posted some vague story on Instagram about being shut out by people who claim to care about love. And now mutual friends are messaging me saying I'm being petty and bitter. I feel like the only sane person here. Am I the a-hole? $1,000 dress. Yeah, Julie definitely doesn't want to honor her friend. She just wants her fabulous dress and be beautiful at her own wedding without paying a cent. OP should not give her the dress. She's already marrying OP's sister's man. What else she wants to take away from Anna? And now let's hear community's opinion. Not the a-hole. I don't think you're in the wrong here, especially since none of your family has been invited to this wedding. I'm concerned that they're doing this as a way to say, see, even Anna's family blesses this union. Why else would they give my new bride her custom wedding dress? I genuinely wonder if they were having an affair. I'm sorry, I just cannot imagine asking the family of my dead best friend for her $10,000 custom wedding dress to marry her fiancé. It's crass and insensitive. Edit to add. Also, bring closure to everyone. What the actual duck? I'm sorry, OP, and his family will never have closure. They lost a sister and a daughter. And to ask them to watch the man she loved marry one of her best friends in a dress she designed to marry that same man is disgustingly insensitive. So who the duck is this supposed to bring closure to? It's definitely not Anna's family. Not the a-hole. This whole thing just feels like such an invasion of privacy and disrespect. The dress was clearly something very special to Anna, not some item to be handed off or reused for someone else's big day, especially without even inviting family. I mean, what would make anyone think that's okay? Not the a-hole. Is she going to change her name to Anna, too? Start calling you her sister and your parents' mom and dad. She has the fiancé and wants the dress. Is she looking to take over Anna's old life completely? It's already weird as hell that she got with her late friend's fiancé. Why the hell would they even want to remind everyone of Anna on their big day? Are they trying to make everyone as uncomfortable as possible? I adopted my 40-male husband's daughter, Tara, when we got married 12 years ago. Tara is now 15, and I'm the only mother she knows. When my parents passed, my brother Tim, 40-male, and I, 35-female, both inherited sentimental objects. I got my mother's wedding rings, and my brother got my dad's classic car. We split everything else pretty much 50-50. There was no bickering about the will, and Tim has never brought up the rings until recently. I also have another child, a son who is 4. Tim came to me a month ago about my mother's wedding bands. He said that he wants to use them to propose to his girlfriend, Sarah. I told him that they were in a lockbox for when Tara got married. He was furious at me. He said that I had no right to deny him our parents' things. He said that the rings belong to him as well, and I have to give them to him. I pointed out that if such things were true, then he legally owed me half of the money he got from selling our father's classic car. I know he got a lot, enough to put a down payment on the condo he has with his girlfriend. Tim told me that was not the same thing. A car is not the same as a wedding ring. I got upset and said it was the same thing, except our father built that car himself. He bought the rings. So really, the car should have been more sentimental. I also said that I have never yelled at him about the car or demanded money, even when I was short on rent. I never asked him to give it to me or thought it was part mine. I also said that the rings were legally given to me and were not communal property, so he would have to do what every other man did and buy himself a ring for his future wife. He told me he never wanted to speak to me again if I did not give him the rings. He asked what I needed them for if I already had rings. I said I was giving them to Tara. He said Tara is not family, not like my child will be with Sarah, so our child deserves them more. I told him getting your girlfriend pregnant was not a reason to marry her, and it was not a good enough reason for me to deny my child rings she really wanted. I told him even if I shared his opinion, I would sooner pass them on to my son than have Sarah wear them. We have not talked since. This has been about a month ago, and I've been getting mixed messages from other family members. I've been told I am selfish to deny Sarah this. It sucks because I never wanted objects to stand in the way of my relationship with my brother. However, he is stubborn and will not be the first to reach out. He also won't accept talking to me unless I come with the rings. He told me this. Do I just wait him out? Tara heard about the situation when I talked about it with my husband and was happy I stood up for her. I feel terrible. I'm not going to take something away from my daughter. She doesn't have a connection to her birth mother's family, so I know she likes having a connection to mine. I'm not taking that from her. The rings mean the world to her. What do I do? They are legally your rings. You can do whatever the duck you want with them. Your brother can suck it. Tell him he is being selfish and cheap because he won't buy her a ring. Doesn't she want something beautiful that she can show off instead of mom's old ring? I bet he didn't think it was sentimental until he realized how much wedding rings cost. I think he's just trying to save money. They are your rings. You can do whatever the hell you want with them. Also, duck your brother. How dare he say that crap about your daughter? Kinda hypocritical, because he's acting like a complete jerk to his blood relative. For context, my mother has many siblings. They don't like her because she ended up being the most successful out of them. They've always been jealous of her. Even though her siblings have never liked her, they always come to her for money. She's never said no to their requests, and she's never asked them to pay her back. She funded her younger brother's university education when she started working, and even helped him purchase a house in the U.S. My mother has always been generous to her siblings and helped them, but they have always been rude towards her and me. Her eldest brother, my uncle, has always been very fond of me. He's never been married or had any children. He took care of me when I was young, and we were very close. He was diagnosed with cancer and had written out a will, saying that he would give me his share of his house. The house was split in 3 under my uncle, grandma, and my mother's eldest sister. The original agreement was that my grandma and aunt would sell their shares to me, at a low price, so the house would be under my name. Originally they agreed, and everything was settled. Every time I visited my uncle, my aunt would be extremely rude towards me and chase me out of the house, preventing me from seeing my uncle. I was given a key, but she used 2 different chain locks to prevent me from entering the house. My mother's siblings, my cousins, made my uncle sign a brand new will. He was very forgetful during his chemo, hence it invalidated the original will. After my uncle passed away, my aunt and cousins brought out the new will and asked me to purchase the house from them at $10 million. They kept sending lawyers letters, and at the end of everything, they still asked my mother to pay for all the legal fees. In the end, they sold it for only $2 million to a stranger, without even asking me. If it was $2 million, I would have bought it. My aunt and cousins got the money. They cut my mother and I out of everything. After my uncle passed away, I asked if I could keep some of his items, but my aunt ignored me and threw away all of my uncle's possessions. Recently, my cousin has been trying to contact me. She keeps asking me to meet her to catch up, but I'm honestly hesitant. Considering how they treated my mother and I over the issue of the house, I feel as if they've burned the bridge. They've shown me how they would behave over money, so I don't feel that there's any use in maintaining a relationship with them. Would you forgive someone like this, or let people like these back into your life? Even if they were relatives. My cousin says I should forgive her and the aunts, and tells me not to be so petty. But I don't feel there is a need to be cordial anymore. Not the a-hole. You can forgive her and still not have a relationship with her. You can't trust her. You can't have a real relationship if there's no trust between you. Not the a-hole. That's not how family treats one another. You don't owe them anything. You can go to the meeting if you want, but I bet the cousin is trying to stay in good contact so they can ask for more money later on. It doesn't sound like you or your mom get anything out of these relationships, so I would consider going no contact and staying that way. Why invest energy in people who suck the life out of you? Not the a-hole. Honestly, it sounds like they've spent the money they got and want back on your mother's gravy train. I'm petty enough that I would meet her so I can laugh in her face when she asks for money. My father has always preferred my brother. I've known since I was a kid. It was obvious. My father has no spouse and only us 2 kids. My mother died many years ago and he never remarried. My brother and I both work for the family company in different departments. My brother is being left the entire company. Not sure how much the entire company is valued at. I know we have minimum $3 million in assets. I'm being left 3 properties, approximate value $650K. His accountant told him to start putting the properties in my name, and they can make it so I don't get hit with a big tax bill, like I will if he dies and I get them. I just found out that my father bought 2 properties in the last year and put them directly in my brother's name. I know for one of the properties, it's so that my brother's son and daughter get the property as an inheritance and not get taxed on it when he dies. I don't know why he put the other property in my brother's name, besides that he wanted to. There's a cabin my dad tried to sell for many years that he ended up letting me use when it didn't sell. My wife and I have put lots of time and money into it, and I have hoped for years that he would just put it in my name. I pay all taxes and expenses on it. But here he is, putting property into my brother's name instead. My brother is spoiled in many ways. Dad bought him a side-by-side, truck, phone, motorcycle. The list goes on. And I do not get the same treatment. I fluctuate between angry and sad. It's been so hurtful to see my brother be the preferred child. My dad battled cancer a couple years ago, and I did everything for him, including taking him to appointments, cooking, etc. I've been struggling with what to say to my father. I feel like if I tell him everything about how I feel, he will either get angry with me or just brush it off. I don't see any scenario where I walk away feeling better. Edited to add. I've decided that I will be leaving the company, and I won't mention the inheritance to my father. I will just ask that he sell me the cabin and leave it at that. In the end, the inheritance doesn't matter, but what does matter is the fact that it proves the favoritism. That has been a hard pill to swallow. I can accept that my father still loves me. He just likes my brother more, and there's nothing I can do about it. My father is getting older and relies on me a lot here, and I worry what would happen if I left. He could hire someone. Don't think you're indispensable. Your father doesn't deserve your help. He's going to neglect setting up his affairs and leave you and your brother with a legal mess to sort out after your father passes. If your father hasn't made a will, then all of this is up in the air. If I understand this correctly, your dad hasn't made a will, hasn't signed over the cabin to you. So right now you've sunk a ton of money into the property, and it's not technically yours. Ask him if he will sell the property to you at a reduced rate. This is if you want it badly enough. Also, see a lawyer about the renovations that you put in. Does that mean you have a beneficial interest in the property? You can't rely on him willing it to you. He might will everything to your brother. Bear in mind, he's already willing to put other property in your brother's name. If he wanted to gift something to his grandchildren, he could do that through a trust. I'm sorry, but your dad hasn't given you anything, and you have no reason to expect him to will you anything. He has taken your time and effort and care and love, and turned around and lavished his own love on your brother. Do you get on with your brother at all? How practical would it be for you to walk away from all of this and build a new life with your wife somewhere else? Let your brother look after your father. Please, start job hunting. If the company is doing that well, and your dad has money to buy loads of new properties, then there is definitely money to hire someone to do your job. If he's relying on you a lot and you don't want to leave him high and dry, build in time to train your replacement. You've just got one life, and you simply do not have to spend it working at a job you don't like, where you're constantly getting your nose rubbed in your father's disregard of you. I wish you an unfraught workplace so very much. Obviously, leaving might cause family tension and might cause you to get disinherited. But, you say your dad could disinherit you because he doesn't like how a conversation goes. And it sounds like he's not reliable when it comes to end-of-life planning. Your dad is only 70. He could live for 20 or 30 more years. You could make yourself miserable working at the family business that whole time. And then you could discover that he's actually left your brother everything. Don't build up more decades worth of resentment. Work somewhere else and deal with your family on your own terms. As the title says, I, 24 female, am about to get married to the guy of my dreams, 24 male. Over Thanksgiving weekend, he and I went and visited my father's side of the family. We discussed with the whole family our wedding details, our plans to send out save the dates that week, and told everyone to expect one in the mail soon. To introduce our characters, Stacy, 50 female, is my father's sister. She has a history of being crazy, causing a lot of family drama. About once a year, she gets drunk and disowns everyone in the family. Anna, 24 female, is Stacy's daughter, my cousin. She and I grew up together and were extremely close until she married a Marine and became ultra-conservative and moved across the country. We were still on great terms. She is my parents' goddaughter. She inherited the crazy gene. My mother, 55 female, taught kindergarten for 25 years and is now a hospice nurse. She is the sweetest lady, down to earth and accepting, and she has never said a bad word about anyone in her life. She grew up in a military household, moving every year with her father who was in the Army. This is significant. During the gathering, Anna FaceTimed her brother and the phone was passed around. Everyone had a chance to talk to her, including fiancé and me. I also had a long discussion with Stacy about requesting off of work for the weekend of my wedding. The evening ended, and we drove home. The next day, my father called to tell me that night Anna's mother, Stacy, got drunk and began sending my mother horrible Facebook messages. She said that Anna was very upset my mother talked to her at Thanksgiving because my mother had told Anna that she is a horrible military wife at another cousin's wedding over a year ago. My father didn't want to repeat the other things that Stacy said, but said that my mother was devastated, shocked, and confused. She vaguely remembers talking to Anna about being a military wife due to their shared experience, but it wasn't a memorable conversation, and there was nothing hostile about it. Stacy sobered up in the morning, but refused to apologize, standing by what she said and claiming she was defending her child. My parents took some time to cool down, and then my father messaged Anna on Facebook saying that they love her, and this is a misunderstanding. My mother grew up in a military household and understands how difficult it is to be in Anna's position. They are her godparents and want to resolve this issue. He asked her to clarify what she believed had happened and what she had told her mother. It's been a week, and he hasn't received a response. My family has always been extremely close, and my parents, especially my father, have time and again drilled into my head to never ever cut off family ties, to always try to make peace and work past differences in beliefs, etc. My parents are the no-drama, super chill family members. It came as a huge shock to me when he asked me to refrain from inviting Anna and Stacy until they apologized to my mother. I talked to my fiancé about the situation, and he agrees with my father and believes that even if they do apologize, he would prefer to cut them out altogether because he doesn't want toxic people like that in our life. I should add that both Stacy and Anna are very conservative and have posted things on Facebook before that target my fiancé's demographic. They have always been very nice to him, but we believe they think he is one of the good ones because he makes awesome baklava. I agree that I wouldn't want them at the wedding unless the situation is resolved. However, I'm not sure how to bring this up. They were expecting save the dates in the mail a week ago, and I haven't sent theirs out. They will be figuring this out soon because I am absolutely inviting Stacy's other children, Anna's brother, 19, 27, male and male, who do not live at home and are not crazy and dramatic like the women in their family. I've not personally communicated with either Stacy or Anna since Thanksgiving, when I had great conversation with both. I'm guessing they don't realize I know what's going on, since I don't see my parents much and am extremely busy, 80-hour work week and full-time school. I would prefer not to cut ties permanently if possible because we will be seeing them at all the holidays, and I don't want to cause my grandpa distress. He's already dealing with another crazy and hostile daughter along with being the caretaker for his mid-stage dementia wife. Do I let them know they're not invited or just let them figure it out? Help, please. I've never had family drama before. These women have been so nasty to the people you're closest to, specifically your no-drama mama, and generally about people of the same group as your beloved. You may have fond memories of them, but I agree with your fiancé. They sound toxic. Important etiquette note. Save the dates are a courtesy, not a requirement. So you can push the decision of whether to invite them or not until your vendors need a final head count. That being said, if they don't apologize, then yeah, they shouldn't come to the wedding. And frankly, the casual R from them makes me pause about having them even on the "but family" list. You can be perfectly polite when you see them at family gatherings, but you don't need to invite them into your presence either. I would not send them invitations. You don't owe them an explanation, though if they ask, you should tell them the truth. I'm not sure if your aunt and cousin are R or something, based on what you've said about targeting your fiancé's demographic, but that seems a bit implied as well. I guess I'd just look at it this way. If you don't want the drama carried over onto your wedding day, the only way to 100% avoid that is to not invite them. If they carry on like they have been and continue it at your wedding, that could potentially ruin the day for you and your family. It's just not worth the risk. Update. My dad heard back from Anna. She completely stands behind everything her mother said and has now added more to it, claiming that we have never supported her marriage because her husband is in the military. She also claims that I was a part of this harassment at the family wedding way back when, and that she is being the bigger person for forgiving us and moving on. If this is moving on, I don't want to see what the alternative is. She also claims that my mother and I, along with another cousin, told her to rot in hell for her political beliefs. I have literally never talked politics with her, and I don't post anything political on Facebook. She then ended with saying that she's taking the higher road and not letting this situation interrupt family relationships and events like my big day, which she apparently thinks she's still attending.